When we think of Italy, images of sun-soaked vineyards, rolling hills, and ancient architecture often come to mind. But in early December 2024, southern Italy was far from picturesque. Instead, it was battered by heavy rains and intense storms, leaving entire communities submerged in floodwaters and grappling with destruction. This event, particularly devastating in the Campania region, has laid bare the vulnerabilities of Italy's aging infrastructure and the pressing realities of climate change. The severity of the storms that ravaged southern Italy cannot be overstated. Torrential rain and fierce winds lashed the region for days, overwhelming drainage systems and causing widespread flooding. Streets in urban centres became rivers, with cars submerged and homes turned into waterlogged shells. Emergency sirens pierced the air as rescue teams worked tirelessly to evacuate residents and respond to the chaos. The storms brought not just water but also destruction, damaging homes, infrastructure, and livelihoods. Italy's aging infrastructure has long been a subject of criticism, and the recent flooding has reignited the debate. Many of the country's roads, bridges, and drainage systems were built decades ago, during a time when the climate was more predictable. Today, as climate change intensifies, these systems are proving woefully inadequate. One glaring issue is the state of Italy's drainage systems. Designed to handle typical rainfall, these systems were quickly overwhelmed by the deluge. Water pooled in streets, unable to drain fast enough, exacerbating the flooding. Experts have pointed out that many of these systems are overdue for upgrades, with some pipes and canals dating back more than 50 years. The result? A landscape ill-prepared for the modern climate reality. Water management, or the lack thereof, is another critical problem. Italy's water infrastructure loses an estimated 42% of its drinking water due to leaks in aging pipes. This inefficiency not only wastes a precious resource but also compounds flooding issues, as broken pipes struggle to redirect stormwater effectively. Modernizing these systems is not just a necessity, it's a matter of survival. The human impact of these storms has been profound. In Campania, one of the hardest-hit regions, the flooding left families stranded, schools closed, and businesses shuttered. Streets transformed into waterways, and entire neighborhoods were cut off. Emergency services sprang into action, deploying personnel to rescue those trapped in their homes and assist the injured. Local hospitals reported a surge in patients, many of whom had sustained injuries during evacuations or from debris carried by the floods. Injuries, while numerous, were not the only concern. For countless residents, the emotional toll of watching their homes and belongings washed away was equally devastating. Families who had lived in their homes for generations faced the harsh reality of starting over. Italy's infrastructure is ill-equipped to handle the increasing frequency and intensity of such weather events. The economic impact of the flooding in southern Italy will be felt for months, if not years. Repairing damaged infrastructure alone will require significant investment, straining government budgets already grappling with broader economic challenges. For local businesses, the flooding has been particularly devastating. Many small enterprises were forced to close their doors, with stock ruined and premises rendered unusable. The loss of income for these businesses trickles down to employees, creating a ripple effect that impacts the broader economy. Tourism, a vital industry for southern Italy, has also taken a hit. Travellers who might have planned to visit the region are likely to reconsider, fearing further disruptions or witnessing the aftermath of destruction. The resulting dip in tourism revenue adds another layer of financial strain to already struggling communities. While southern Italy's aging infrastructure has played a significant role in the extent of the damage, the underlying culprit is climate change. Scientists have long warned that rising global temperatures would lead to more intense and frequent storms, and the events in Campania are a stark testament to that prediction. As the planet warms, atmospheric moisture increases, leading to heavier rainfall during storms. This phenomenon, coupled with Italy's geographical position, makes the country particularly vulnerable to extreme weather. Coastal regions like Campania are at even greater risk, as rising sea levels amplify the effects of storm surges and flooding. Without decisive action, such events will likely become the norm rather than the exception. To prevent future disasters of this scale, Italy must prioritize investments in resilient infrastructure. Modernizing drainage systems should be a top priority. By upgrading pipes and expanding stormwater management capacities, communities can better cope with heavy rainfall. This effort must be coupled with stricter building codes to ensure that new constructions are designed to withstand extreme weather. Green infrastructure offers another promising solution. By incorporating green spaces, permeable surfaces, and natural water absorption methods into urban planning, cities can reduce runoff during storms and mitigate flooding. Such initiatives not only enhance resilience but also improve the quality of life for residents by creating more sustainable urban environments. While infrastructure improvements are crucial, building community resilience is equally important. Local governments and organizations have already mobilized to support recovery efforts in Campania, providing emergency relief funds and organizing cleanup initiatives. Volunteers have played a vital role in restoring affected neighborhoods, demonstrating the strength and solidarity of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Public awareness campaigns can also make a significant difference. Educating residents about emergency preparedness, from creating evacuation plans to safeguarding important documents, can save lives during future disasters. Empowered communities are better equipped to handle the challenges of extreme weather. The flooding in southern Italy is a sobering reminder of the challenges posed by climate change and aging infrastructure. As the water recedes, the focus must shift to rebuilding not just what was lost, but something better and more resilient. Policymakers must seize this moment to invest in infrastructure that can withstand the growing threats of a changing climate. Failure to do so will only leave communities vulnerable to the next inevitable storm. Italy, with its rich history and vibrant culture, deserves a future where its people can thrive, without the constant fear of flooding and destruction. This is a call to action for everyone, from government leaders to local communities, to come together and build a more sustainable and resilient tomorrow. And now let's hear from you. What do you think needs to change to better prepare for events like this? Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video if you found it informative, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth coverage of critical global issues. Together, we can spark the conversation and drive the change needed to tackle these challenges head-on.